This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Wednesday, June 24th, right now on Good Morning Indiana. Today, the Senate is set to vote on a police reform bill, and Indiana Senator Mike Braun is breaking from his fellow Republicans on one key issue. We're breaking down his proposal and what it would mean for officers across the country and right here in Indiana.
Already kind of hard getting resources, and since the grocery stores were already packed and like shelves are still like completely empty.
As we continue to deal with the financial fallout from the coronavirus pandemic, food insecurity remains a big hurdle for some Hoosier families. This morning, how one local company is stepping up to help.
And we all have cooking skills that we use for various situations. It's just a matter of employing those cooking skills.
Many Hoosiers are feeling extra pressure because they are actually spending too much time at home. Working for you, the tips one mental health expert has to help you manage your stress and anxiety.
We're learning more about what next school year could look like for Indianapolis Public Schools. We're getting a first look at the preliminary results from a parent survey and how this could impact your student. Approaching the midway point of our work week, and I want to thank you for joining our team here on Good Morning Indiana.
We are going to have a great day today weather-wise. We'll get to Todd in a moment, but first we want to welcome in our Rafael Sanchez. Rafael, how are things going in Johnson County this morning?
Well, as I look outside of my living room window, the sunrise looks absolutely beautiful. But let's get right to Todd by quoting my favorite group of the 80s, Katrina and the Waves, because today, Todd Clausen will be walking on sunshine.
There you go. We will be walking on that sunshine. That's a good reference there, Raphael. I'm sure the ladies hardly knew who you were talking about in the 80s. But outside right now, we're dealing with the sunshine. I knew, though. Outside right now is the downtown view to the north, and you see all that blue sky. You see the temperatures there on each side of your screen. 57 in Logansport as well as Zionsville. 61 in Indianapolis right now, and 63 is the current temperature in Bloomington. The humidity's really low. It's a comfortable morning for us. There's been a little bit of high thin cloud cover here and there throughout the overnight hours now into the 6 o'clock hour, but that'll thin out very quickly now that the sun is getting higher above the horizon. Sunrise officially, though, not for just about another 15 minutes or so. There is a small shower chance as we work our way into the evening hours. Outside of that small shower chance, it's a mostly sunny day for us today with high temperatures that'll be anywhere from 78 to 82 degrees. Get out there and enjoy. If you can't for some reason today, tomorrow's another nice day before the humidity returns for the weekend. More on that coming up in just a little bit. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a look right now at your commute on the east side. This is a look at I-70 near Post Road, where traffic is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. We'll continue to keep you updated on any problems for your morning commute. And I just got an update on the issue we're monitoring down in Johnson County on Rock Lane Road near Griffith Road, east of 65. That is a semi-crash, minor injuries, and that road will remain closed for another 30 to 45 minutes. Well, after weeks of protests demanding action against police brutality, today the Senate will vote on the Republican police reform bill.
But Indiana Senator Mike Braun has unveiled his own proposal, which includes some things the GOP plan does not include, like scaling back qualified immunity. Our Kelsey Anderson explains what this potential reform could mean for you and for police officers.
Well, qualified immunity is a 50-year-old doctrine that protects police officers from civil lawsuits. Some say even when a citizen's rights have been violated. According to federal law enforcement training centers, qualified immunity allows officers to perform their duties without constant fear of having to defend themselves against unjustified claims. They go on to say that qualified immunity allows the public to recover damages when an unreasonable officer violated their rights. They say qualified immunity is designed to protect everyone except those who blatantly violate the law. Critics of qualified immunity say the shield makes it nearly impossible for those who feel they have been wronged to sue for damages. Some Senate leaders want to abolish qualified immunity completely, but Senator Braun says he thinks it just needs to be reformed. Braun's legislation would strip out the clearly established law requirement and instead say the only way you are immune is if there is a state or federal law that says what happened is legal. Braun says this reform will make it easier for the public to win lawsuits. We reached out to Indy's Fraternal Order of Police, and although they say they have not heard from the senator, they are looking forward to reviewing his proposal and sharing their thoughts with him if given the opportunity. The FOP went on to say that in the meantime, they will continue to protect and serve the communities that they were called to. Again, that vote is today, and of course, we will always keep you updated. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:05 here on Good Morning Indiana. Now to the latest on the coronavirus's impact on our state. Health officials on Tuesday confirmed 300 more cases of COVID-19 in Indiana. The Department of Health also reported some 14 new deaths. A total of 2,377 Hoosiers have died from the virus. More than 42,800 cases have been reported in the state since the pandemic began. 426,000 people have been tested so far, with about 10% of those coming back positive.
And at 6:06, we are learning more about what the school year could look like for Indianapolis public schools amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The district releasing preliminary results of a survey that was issued to parents. Our Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning outside of IPS headquarters with more details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning. IPS school leaders say there are many factors to look at when considering if they'll be returning kids to classrooms in the fall for the upcoming school year, which is why they do need community feedback right now. And they've already received quite a bit, but they want more. So far, IPS has received more than 4,400 responses from families for their survey, representing about 27% of their student population. Around 1/3 of respondents say they have someone living in their home who is considered at risk for complications from COVID. That same number said they would choose e-learning if the district made it available full time. The superintendent says they're working to make sure every student has access to a device and internet hotspot if it's needed. They say they're trying to find the best way to provide a quality education while keeping kids safe.
There is no lack of complexities when thinking about how you do school. When schools have been structured really to maximize efficiencies, maximize collaboration, maximize partnerships, and children being in groups and talking with each other, and now we're having a plan for essentially the opposite.
While creating classroom reentry plans, the Indiana Department of Education is advising to follow CDC guidelines and work with local health departments to those school districts. And if you do want to participate in that IPS survey, it's still available until this coming Friday. You can find details and a link to that survey on our website, theindychannel.com. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. This week, the Rebound Indiana is helping you manage the stress brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic.
And Meredith, this week we're being joined by Dr. Mitesh Patel. He's a psychiatrist with Ascension St. Vincent Hospital here in Indianapolis. And he explains that anxiety with our new normal, he says, is normal. Dr. Patel told RTV6's Amanda Starantino that one reason that many Hoosiers are feeling a little extra pressure right now is because they're actually spending too much time at home with family. Although time with your loved one is always a good thing, some time away for yourself can also be very good. He says the first thing he recommends to patients is exercise to help ease their symptoms.
Some studies show as little as 5 minutes of exercise can help improve anxiety symptoms, especially for those people who have lots of physical symptoms associated with their anxiety. Secondly, supplements, certain kinds of several studies have shown that low levels of vitamin D, vitamin B, magnesium are implicated in anxiety. And so when people supplement those things, they often have an improvement in their anxiety as well. I think parents need to take time for themselves wherever they can. This is a different time for everyone. And I think taking a minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes for yourself to kind of de-stress is really going to help with that frustration. In psychiatry, we call that a coping skill. And we all have coping skills that we use for various situations. It's just a matter of employing those coping skills.
Dr. Patel says if you are not getting relief from your anxiety, absolutely reach out to a therapist or a psychiatrist. If you're struggling, the number for the suicide hotline is 1-800-273-8255 or text IN to 741-741 for suicide prevention. You can also visit BeWellIndiana.com, and you can find additional resources as well at theindychannel.com/rebound. We have so much to offer there on our website. Coming up tomorrow, Dr. Patel talks about how the things around your home can help you ease stress and anxiety. Amanda, thank you for that interview. We'll have more of that tomorrow right here on Good Morning Indiana.
Well, that was a milestone worth celebrating at Methodist Hospital. 55-year-old James Weedman wheeled out of the hospital elevator here Monday to cheers and applause. He was the hospital's 500th COVID-19 patient to be discharged. His first tested positive back on May 22nd near his hometown of Paoli and self-quarantined. But on June 15th, his condition worsened and he was flown to Methodist, where after just 1 week, he had the green light to return home. Great news there.
As many Hoosiers continue to deal with the financial impact of the coronavirus pandemic, some employers are stepping up to fill an important need. Up next, how a local catering company is helping out employees during these tough times. Todd.
And Meredith, it's going to be a beautiful day for us here across central Indiana. If you're still working from home like I am, it'll be a great day to take your work maybe out onto the patio. We'll have lots of sunshine, temperatures near 80 degrees, and low humidity. That is the key. So if you're working from home or you're just getting out and about, should be a wonderful Wednesday for us. We'll talk more about your extended forecast for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on RTV6.
Keller and Keller, right now.
Welcome back. The Rebound Indiana is focusing on tackling the big issues that you face as you seek to recover from this pandemic. And we know food insecurity is a major issue.
Some families are turning to food banks or church pantries.
And we also know that many employers have been stepping up during these several months. At RTV6, we've been following 6 people in the hospitality industry, which, as you know, is among the hardest hit during this pandemic. This morning, feeding employees as well as mental health check-ins.
The vehicles lined up.
I got you, Rojas. How you doing?
As the tables were set with boxes of food.
Seeing people kind of get laid off and stuff like that's really scary.
Take care. Yep.
Crystal Catering, unable to host major luncheons, galas, or fundraisers in Indianapolis, was forced to send many people home.
Thank you.
But not without a care package filled with food and toilet paper to help during this crisis.
It's going to help a lot.
Jamie Smith is a college student with plans of becoming a nurse. Her dad is the only one working. Her mom is on disability, so this outreach is a much-needed safety net.
It's already kind of hard getting resources, and since the grocery stores were already packed and shelves are still completely empty.
Alicia, be safe. I got you, Amanda. You got rice, right?
This was also about checking in with a workforce that's like family. The chef says he's on the phone with his people to check in and to talk about cooking.
You want to make a recipe, you want to utilize what you got home? I can show you how to make bread. I can show you how to make soup from potatoes or frozen vegetables. I can turn anything you have in your freezer to anything that you can eat.
The boxes served all those who are now anxious for the return of their brand of Hoosier hospitality.
Now, Crystal Catering was able to provide care packages to about 100 of their employees, and over the past few weeks, they've also been able to pay them through the federal program known as the Paycheck Protection Program. Lauren?
Raphael, thank you. Here at 6:16, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin is shedding more light on when we could see another coronavirus stimulus package. He says a plan could be passed as soon as next month. While details of the next stimulus measure have not been laid out yet, Mnuchin says that another round of direct payments to Americans is possible. He also said that the White House is weighing all of the options. As of now, it's still unclear how much any future direct payments from the stimulus package would be. Mnuchin also said that his office is considering extending the tax deadline for a second time beyond the July 15th deadline. All right, now we want to get a check of our forecast with Todd Clausen standing by from home, and a great Wednesday ahead, Todd.
Yeah, it really is, Lauren. The humidity is low. The sun will be shining throughout the entire day, and the temperatures are going to be very, very comfortable. Here's a live look outside right now, and you notice all that blue sky. Just a few fair weather clouds off in the distance, and that is just about it on this Wednesday morning. And as we work our way throughout the day today, I mentioned how comfortable it's going to be. As we get into the weekend, that's when some changes are going to occur. Tomorrow's still another great day, but as we get into Friday, storms are going to return to the forecast. They're with us this weekend as well, and what's also with us this weekend is the Saharan dust, which I'm sure you've heard about at this point. It happens every year, but this year it's kind of blown up on social media, and it's a little more pronounced this year than it has been in years past. Essentially, what's going to do to our forecast is the sky won't be that bright blue sky over the weekend. It'll kind of have a hazy, milky look to it, and those of you with respiratory issues, unfortunately, could suffer a little bit as this dust moves through. But other than that, won't really have much of an impact here in central Indiana. 63 right now in Bloomington, 56 in Crawfordsville, 58 in Tipton, as well as in the Peru area. Often we talk about the dew points, and essentially here is the scale. When it's in the 70s, it's oppressive. Where it's going to be today, though, is in the mid-50s, and that's a very, very comfortable level to be in. So it's a great day to get out there and enjoy the outdoors, if possible, for the day today. The skies are mainly clear. There is a small shower chance in the forecast later on this afternoon and early this evening. It would be very, very light. It would be very, very spotty. 99% of you will not see a drop of rainfall, but there will be the chance, especially in northern locations, I think, of a quick passing shower. But again, that is this evening. The daytime hours, for the most part, will be terrific, with temperatures warming steadily throughout the morning hours to about 74 by the noon hour. 78 the high temperature in the metro area, 79-ish. In some areas, we'll get up into the 80s. Tomorrow, everybody's into the 80s with mostly sunny skies and low humidity. Thursday is terrific. And then as we work our way into the weekend, Friday, the temperature comes up. Look at that, 88 degrees. Humidity comes up again as well as storm chances build in. Then as we get into Saturday, 85 degrees, just slightly cooler on Saturday because probably a little more in the way of cloud cover, a little better chance of storms on Saturday compared to Friday, and then again on Sunday. But we'll keep the temperatures in the mid-80s, Lauren, as we continue all the way into the middle of next week.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out there this Wednesday. First, you can see the sunrise coming up over the Circle City. A beautiful Wednesday out there. Here's a look at I-70 and Sam Jones Expressway to our west. Now, keep in mind, we've been mentioning it this morning, the eastbound lanes of I-70 between Ronald Reagan Parkway and the South Split, those have reopened ahead of schedule, so that is good news. Both directions of I-70 to our west are open today. We do have the westbound lanes closing later this week. We're going to keep you updated on that. It's set to happen on Friday, weather permitting. Of course, we'll keep you updated because that is another long-term closure, but for now, everything is traveling up to speed.
Lauren, thank you so much. The time now is 6:20 here on Good Morning Indiana. The FBI says that NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace was not the victim of a hate crime after what looked like a noose appeared in his garage at the Talladega Motor Speedway on Sunday. Investigators say what looked like a noose had been there since last fall, and it was tied that way to use as a garage door pull. You can see it in the video posted on YouTube back in November by a fan during a garage experience tour. Since Wallace is the only black driver in NASCAR and was only assigned to the space last week, investigators say it's unlikely this was a targeted scheme. But Wallace says in all of his years of racing, this is something he's never seen.
I've been racing all my life. We've raced out of hundreds of garages that never had garage pools like that. So people that want to call it a garage pool and put out old videos and photos of knots being in their as their evidence, go ahead. But from the evidence that we have, and that I have, it's a straight up noose.
NASCAR released a statement saying, quote, "We appreciate the FBI's quick and thorough investigation and are thankful to learn that this was not an intentional racist act against Bubba."
Good news for baseball fans. The MLB will officially play this year. According to ESPN, the Major League Players Association finalized the details to play 60 games beginning on July 23rd or 24th. There will not be fans present, though. Players will receive the full prorated share of their salary, which is about 37% of their full season pay. The postseason will still consist of 10 teams, but there is still talk of expanding that. Teams will report to camp on July 1st.
Well, a 7-year-old who wanted to raise money for healthcare workers is now the star of her own book. Up next, how her fundraising efforts inspired an author.
Tonight's gonna be a good night, but this morning's gonna be even better. Coming up on GMA, an incredible concert from the Black Eyed Peas. You don't want to miss that. That's going to be a great morning here on RTV6. This morning, a big good morning as well to West Lafayette, Westfield, and Waveland. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. And look at that sunshine. It's going to be a great day in central Indiana.
Our competitors forced your home. That's who.
All right, let's start off our trending at 6 with a little music.
Okay.
A 7-year-old who's been playing her ukulele in her front yard for weeks to raise money for hospital workers on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic is now the new star of a new children's book. Liliana Roman's fundraiser is the basis of the book, The Ukulele in Her Hands. Author Todd Sivins saw what Lily did and created the book not only to share her story, but to keep raising funds for COVID relief. That is very sweet.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, well, here's another cute story. A teen artist in Ohio is gaining national attention for her sidewalk chalk art. Take a look at this. 15-year-old Leah Jonas recreates famous characters just to put a smile on her neighbors' faces. Her work has even gotten her some job offers. Those are pretty good. While she likes her newfound recognition, she chalks it up to a love of art and spreading a little happiness up and down her street.
I wish I could do that with chalk.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Hey, an amazing morning today for Amanda Horan. Good morning to you, Ms. Horan. You are our hometown hero today. Amanda is a physics and chemistry teacher at Bishop Chatard High School here in Indianapolis. Thank you to her fellow teachers, for always giving their personal and professional best every single day. Also, one of our best is Todd Clausen, who has a pretty good forecast on this Wednesday.
Yeah, it really is a nice forecast, Raphael. Anytime we're in the late days in the month of June, and even for that matter, anytime in the summer when you have low humidity and lots of sunshine and temperatures around 80 degrees, you have to take advantage of it. And that's exactly what we're going to have throughout the day today. Temperatures this morning are hovering generally right around 60 degrees. Some of you a little bit below that number, some of you a little bit above, but we'll warm quick throughout the morning hours. 73 degrees by the noon hour with skies that'll be mostly sunny. High temperatures today will be topping off in the upper 70s to low 80s across the area. Get out there and enjoy. There is a small chance this evening of a stray shower. If you do see that, it would be very light. Otherwise, enjoy your Wednesday. We'll talk more about your extended forecast coming up.
Todd, thank you. If you're like some, you may be trying to handle less cash to lower your chances of getting COVID-19. That could mean using your debit card a lot more. But before you do, consumer reporter John Matteries has a caution so you don't waste your money.
These days, many people are trying not to handle cash to avoid catching COVID-19. So they're turning to debit and credit cards. But if you're using debit, buyer beware. Debit can be dangerous, according to a report in Business Insider. The problem, the money immediately comes out of your bank account. So it says don't use debit at gas stations because of skimming scams and because stations often put a $75 temporary hold on your card. At hotels, because the desk may pre-authorize and hold $400 at check-in. On a rental car, where again the rental firm may hold hundreds of dollars until you return the car. At restaurants, where the server takes your card to a back room. And on big TVs and furniture, where debit... From the dozen that stink file, the worst place to use debit, online shopping at unfamiliar websites. Item never arrives, you'll say, doesn't that stink? Business Insider says credit cards give you a 1-month loan so you can dispute a questionable charge. With a debit card, it can take months to get your money back. With a credit card, you can stop that charge and you don't waste your money. I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Metro Police asking for your help in identifying a man they're calling a person of interest in an assault on the Monon Trail. This is the man that they want to talk to. They say the victim was violently knocked off his bike on the trail this past Saturday. If you have any information about this, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number 317 262-TIPS.
Police are asking for the public's help in finding a teenager who's been missing since this past Saturday. Take a good look at your screen. Officers say 17-year-old Elliot Shadwick was last seen at the Huntington Bank location on East Washington Street. Police say Shadwick has a history of self-harm, so if you have any information that could help them, please call the IMPD Missing Persons Unit at 317-262-6160.
8 people have now drowned in Indiana waters over the past 10 days. The latest drowning happening at Indiana Dunes State Park early yesterday afternoon. Witnesses say an 18-year-old man was swimming in Lake Michigan at the park when he was hit by a wave and didn't resurface. The teen's body was located by Portage firefighters more than an hour later.
Here's a milestone that is worth celebrating coming to us from Methodist Hospital. James Weedman was wheeled out to cheers from hospital staff. He's the hospital's 500th COVID-19 patient to be discharged. What good news there. He first tested positive in May near his hometown of Paoli in Orange County and self-quarantined. But on June the 15th, his condition worsened and he was flown to Methodist. After just 1 week of treatment, he had the green light to return home. It's good to see those images coming out of Indianapolis.
And the Indianapolis Parks Department will offer free summer concerts and movies starting on Friday. The screening of The Lion King at Garfield Park begins at 9 p.m. Shows and performances will be held throughout the summer at various Indy parks, including Broad Ripple, Eagle Creek, and MLK. You can find a list of shows at parks.indy.gov. That sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us here. It is 6:30 on your Wednesday, and we appreciate you joining us on Good Morning Indiana.
Yeah, Rafael Sanchez joining us from Johnson County this morning, and meteorologist Todd Clausen here in the city. And Todd, we've got some great weather for our Wednesday.
Yeah, you know, we really do, Meredith. It's going to be terrific outside throughout the day today with the low humidity, the sunshine. I encourage you to get outside if you can. Look at these temperatures this morning. We're sitting in the 50s and 60s. 63 in Bloomington, 61 is the current temperature in Indianapolis right now. And to the north, temperatures are in the 50s. In fact, a pair of 5s in Logansport as well as Marion up in Grant County. So it's going to be an absolutely beautiful morning for you to get outside, maybe for that morning walk. Look at all that sunshine that's across the area. And then as we work our way throughout the day, we'll kind of toggle back and forth between mostly sunny and partly cloudy skies. And there's a small chance of a stray shower that is going to be possible this evening. It's just a very broken line. You see it close to Minneapolis, but most of us probably won't see that. It's a select few in northern locations that have that shower chance. Otherwise, today temperatures are going to be up near 80 degrees with all that sunshine. So it makes for a wonderful Wednesday. Terrific Thursday tomorrow. More on that forecast for you, Lauren, coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a look right now at your commute on this Wednesday morning. I-74 here, a view near Ronald Reagan Parkway, where traffic is traveling and moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. No issues right now to our west to slow down your commute.
New this morning, a man is in the hospital after being shot several times during attempted carjacking. This happened on the northeast side of Indianapolis. The man told police he was on Meadowlark Drive near 42nd and Post when 2 people tried to take his car, then shot him twice. The man drove to 38th and Post before meeting IMPD officers. He was taken to the hospital in serious condition. Police are also investigating another shooting on the city's west side that left a man dead and a woman injured. Wayne Township firefighters were called to Washington Street near Waldemere Avenue just after 9 last night. They say 2 people in a car went off the road after a shooting and crashed into a Dollar Tree store. Police say a man who suffered a gunshot wound died while being taken to the hospital. Then around 10:30, officers were called to a shooting scene on John Marshall Drive near 30th and Mithofer. That victim is listed in good condition. Moments later, Metro Police discovered another shooting victim on Sherman Forest Drive. That person is expected to survive. Then about an hour later, a second victim showed up at Methodist Hospital.
The time right now is 6:34. After weeks of protests demanding action against police brutality, today the Senate could vote on a Republican police reform plan. On Tuesday, Indiana Senator Mike Braun broke from his party, introducing his own proposal that includes scaling back qualified immunity. Our Kelsey Anderson explains what that could mean for you and also for police.
Well, qualified immunity is a 50-year-old doctrine that protects police officers from civil lawsuits. Some say even when a citizen's rights have been violated. According to federal law enforcement training centers, qualified immunity allows officers to perform their duties without constant fear of having to defend themselves against unjustified claims. They go on to say that qualified immunity allows the public to recover damages when an unreasonable officer violated their rights. They say qualified immunity is designed to protect everyone except those who blatantly violate the law. Critics of qualified immunity say the shield makes it nearly impossible for those who feel they have been wronged to sue for damages. Some Senate leaders want to abolish qualified immunity completely, but Senator Braun says he thinks it just needs to be reformed. Braun's legislation would strip out the clearly established law requirement and instead say the only way you are immune is if there is a state or federal law that says what happened is legal. Braun says this reform will make it easier for the public to win lawsuits. We reached out to Indy's Fraternal Order of Police, and although they say they have not heard from the senator, they are looking forward to reviewing his proposal and sharing their thoughts with him if given the opportunity. The FOP went on to say that in the meantime, they will continue to protect and serve the communities that they were called to. Again, that vote is today, and of course, we will always keep you updated. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 6:36 here on Good Morning Indiana. Now turning to the latest on the coronavirus impact on the state of Indiana. The Department of Health on Tuesday confirming 14 new coronavirus deaths. Since the pandemic started, nearly 2,400 Hoosiers have died from the virus. The State Health Department also confirms 331 new cases of COVID-19. So far, nearly 43,000 people in Indiana have been diagnosed with the virus. Meredith?
Indianapolis public school leaders are working to determine if kids will be returning to classrooms in the fall.
The district has released a preliminary results of a survey that they issued to parents about COVID-19 and this coming school year. Our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning from IPS headquarters. Alyssa, what did these survey results show?
So one of the key factors, Lauren, that came out of those surveys is that about 1/3 of the people who responded to the surveys said that they would choose e-learning for their kids if the district made it available full time. Now, that's just one of the statistics that came out, and they are, of course, continuing to update that as they continue to go through those surveys. Those are still open right now for people to take. 1/3 of those who responded also noted they have someone living in their home who is considered at risk for COVID-19. So far, IPS has received more than 4,400 responses from families in the district. They still want more feedback to better make their final decisions about the upcoming school year. The superintendent says they are working to ensure all students have access to devices and internet hotspots if it's needed. She also says making these decisions comes with a lot of challenges. They want to ensure kids are receiving a quality education while keeping them and their families safe.
There is no lack of complexities when thinking about how you do school when schools have been structured really to maximize efficiencies, maximize collaboration, maximize partnerships, and children being in groups and talking with each other. And now we're having a plan for essentially the opposite.
The Indiana Department of Education is advising school districts to follow CDC guidelines while coming up with their classroom re-entry plans. And the survey for IPS is still open right now. If you want to take that, we have a link to it on our website, theindychannel.com. You can take that until this coming Friday. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Covering more education this morning, IPS is also tackling the big issue of racial inequality in schools. Tomorrow, the district will hold a virtual town hall discussing race in and outside of the classroom. That conversation will bring together a panel of experts and district leaders. Now, since 2015, all faculty and staff, including bus drivers and food service workers, have been required to attend a 2-day racial equity training program. And starting next year, the goal is to have students involved. Tomorrow's town hall is at 12:30 in the afternoon. We have much more information on how you can register and participate on theindychannel.com.
Well, they're accused of charging illegal storage fees, and several customers say they were victims. Next, Call 6 investigates how to find out if and what you need to know if your car gets towed. It is 6:39. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Welcome back. It is 6:42. A towing company here in central Indiana is now facing a class action lawsuit. It's because a number of customers say that they were charging excessive and illegal storage fees.
Only on RTV6, Call 6 investigates. Kara Kenny digs through that complaint and its possible consequences.
No one likes to be towed, but Indianapolis ordinance dictates exactly how much it should cost you. But not every company is following it, according to a new lawsuit.
Max Ketchum lives at Sebring Court Apartments, where his vehicle was towed the night of June 10th. Max went to Zors to pick up his vehicle, so he expected to pay the $150 for the tow, but was shocked when he says Zors initially tried to charge him $60 in storage fees. Indianapolis ordinance states towing companies cannot charge you a $30 storage fee until your vehicle has been impounded for at least 24 hours. When he pushed back, they gave him credit for 1 day, but still charged him $30 in storage. Max's vehicle was impounded at 7:14 p.m. on June 10th, according to his receipt. It was released the next day at 9:53 a.m. That's 14 and a half hours. But the invoice says his car was held in impound for 2 days. Max has filed a class action lawsuit accusing Zors of charging excessive fees and violating the Indiana Deceptive Consumer Sales Act.
If they've done it to me, they've done it to other people. And we don't want other people being overcharged. We don't want other people being hurt because there's a lot of people who wouldn't be able to be in a position to afford an extra $30 or $60.
The ordinances could not be more clear about when a storage fee of $30 can be charged. And it can only be charged once when the vehicle has been at the tow lot for at least 24 hours. And that is simply not how Zors is charging the fee. And they should know better.
You can report a towing complaint to the city of Indianapolis at tows@indy.gov. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara Kenny on the job. Call 6 investigates reached out to Zors, and they tell us that their attorneys are looking into the complaint to see what those issues that were raised in that lawsuit. We also reached out to the city of Indianapolis, and they did investigate Max's complaint and found that he was improperly charged. They also found that Zors' license was expired when they towed Max's car. The city has asked Zors to refund the customer the entire $180 that he was charged for the tow and storage. They're working with Zors to renew their license. Meredith?
Tens of thousands of Hoosiers remain out of work, but there are plenty of companies hiring right now. Next, how one company is looking for people to staff its latest facility at the airport.
And is it too early for a burger? My stomach is growling. Coming up, the local restaurant group that's getting even larger, even during the pandemic. Todd.
This hour, when you wake up at 3 o'clock, Lauren, I think you can go ahead and have a burger. I would certainly do so if I had one handy. Outside right now, we're dealing with quiet conditions, but there's a slight chance of some showers late in the afternoon, early this evening. Tomorrow's a terrific day, but the best rain chances in this forecast are as we get into the weekend. We'll talk more about that for you coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on RTV6.
And FloorIsYourHome.com. That's who.
Welcome back. Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative is dedicated to connecting you to new job opportunities. FedEx is bringing 1,000 more jobs right here to central Indiana. So the company is in the process of opening a new building at the Indianapolis International Airport. Those hired will work at that new facility, unloading packages after they're removed from planes or operating equipment that moves the packages. Day and overnight shifts are available. Positions there are part-time and pay starts at $16.12 per hour. You can apply and find a link to apply on our website. Just go to hiringhoosiers.com.
Many restaurants are struggling to stay open during the COVID-19 pandemic, but one local group is actually celebrating a grand opening, Raphael.
And for the record, Meredith, I am buying lunch.
Okay,
I am buying lunch
We're
because a
holding you
new
to that.
Brew Burger is now open for business at Keystone at the Crossing on the northeast side of Indianapolis. It is the 11th location for the restaurant. The original Brew Burger bar is on Mass Ave, as many of us know, and Craig Morris, the general manager of the new restaurant, says COVID-19 has, of course, created challenges, but loyal customers are making the process much easier.
Opening a brand new restaurant, which is already challenging enough, and then so we have 50%, 75% as you're doing social distancing. So we're delighted that we have a good brand and good support from the community, and that's certainly helping us.
Meredith, I'll see you there at 11:30 today. By the way, the new Brew Burger opened Monday. The chain is opened by Cunningham Restaurant Group of Indianapolis. Of course, Lauren, you're invited as well, and so is Todd, because here on Good Morning Indiana, the table is set, and Todd Clausen is serving up some sunshine today on the grill. Hey, Todd?
Yeah. Yeah, whether it's your own grill in your backyard or you're heading to Brew Burger or any other restaurant here in central Indiana that has a patio, it'll be a great place to be throughout the entire day. Look at the sunshine and the sunrise taking place. Some high thin clouds off in the distance, but otherwise we are enjoying a beautiful morning, one in which the humidity is really, really low. That's why you could see really far off in the distance, and the temperatures are currently sitting generally right around 60 degrees. You've probably heard about Saharan dust on the news or on social media. You may have seen it in your Facebook or Twitter feeds. This is dust that's basically from the Sahara Desert in Africa. It's made its way across the ocean, and where you see this gray, that is the dust on this forecast model. And if you've seen pictures from the Caribbean, it's been very, very hazy down there, and that's going to be the impact here in central Indiana as this dust starts to make its way into the Gulf of Mexico, and then eventually up here into central Indiana as we work our way into the weekend. The good news for us, though, is it kind of just gives us a little bit of a glancing blow. You see it moving in there. I think the thickest of the dust is probably going to stay down to our south. The main impact, again, would be a hazy sky here in central Indiana. And for those of you that suffer from respiratory issues, unfortunately, this could impact you in a minor way. So just be aware of that. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s this morning. It's very, very comfortable out there. The dew points today, which is a measure of moisture in the atmosphere, in the 50s. It's very comfortable. When you get into the 60s and 70s, that's when things start to get a little uncomfortable, and that's what's going to happen over the weekend. So take advantage of today with the sunshine that we'll have out there throughout the entire day. There's just a chance later on this evening of a few very, very spotty showers that'll pop up. Basically dinner hour towards sunset, and then once we get past sunset, they'll fade away. So it's about a 3-hour window this evening for a stray shower. Otherwise, enjoy the beautiful weather today with highs that get up to right around 80 degrees. Tomorrow's even better. No shower chance for your Thursday. Mostly sunny skies still and high temperatures that will be in the 80s. And then once we get to the weekend, Saturday thunderstorms likely 85 degrees, 87 on Sunday with about a 40% chance of storms. No days of washout though. That is the good news. Friday's that transition day when the humidity comes up with a high of 88 degrees. And the next week, very summer-like, a week from today, hard to believe, it's going to be July 1st, and we're going to enter the month with temperatures in the mid-80s. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. This is I-70 a little west of FedEx to our west, and you can see traffic is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. Those eastbound lanes of I-70 that have been closed for about a month now, those reopened a few days ahead of schedule between the west side of Ronald Reagan Parkway all the way into downtown at the south split. The westbound side set to close Friday morning in the early morning hours, and that project will last for a month as well. So we'll keep you updated, but for now, both directions of I-70 are traveling up to speed.
We were all supposed to be riding them around town by now, but this two-wheeler never quite caught on with the masses. Up next, the end of the line for the future of transportation.
RTV6 app on your phone or streaming device.
Welcome back. So it was supposed to be the urban transportation revolution, something that could even bring the end to a need for a car if you lived in the downtown area.
But it never worked out that way, despite a high-profile release almost 20 years ago. And now it will be one of those things we're talking about when we reminisce about the early 2000s.
Listen, I was really hoping that you millennials would really have this work. This is really about you. But anyway, the Segway era is now over. What happened, Meredith and Lauren? You were supposed to make this popular. The Chinese company Ninebot says it will start production of the Segway personal transporter on July the 15th. This debuted back on Good Morning America back in 2001. However, the Segway's cost really hampered production. And so unfortunately, ladies, you will not have your own personal transport down Meridian Street.
That's okay. I think we'll both stick with our
I just don't think
cars.
I'm coordinated enough to pull that off. They scare me. I don't know. I've never done one. All right, Todd, if you do have a Segway or a bike or any type of thing where you're outside, today would be a great day to use it.
Yeah, I have my 2 wheels, but it's my bicycle, and I'm going to stick to that. That is for sure. I love cruising around that on all of central Indiana. And today would be a good day for a bike ride, a walk, anything you want to do outside. Lots of sunshine, high temperatures near 80 degrees. Just a small chance of a stray shower later on this afternoon. Tomorrow, terrific, 83, mostly sunny before the humidity. The temperatures come up for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And with the higher humidity will come a daily chance of storms, but no day is a complete washout. The storm's probably the most numerous, though, of those 3 days on Saturday.
All right, Todd, thank you. We are back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with your news, weather, and traffic updates.
All your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. We'll leave you here with a live look at Indianapolis. Have a great Wednesday.